guitar, and the story was, when I was on Mir, the Russian space station back in 1995, there was an old St. Petersburg built guitar up there. It was terrible, lousy old guitar. But the Russians had recognized for decades that music is just necessary for mental health and for being human. And so they'd had musical instruments on their space station since the beginning. And NASA noticed that. And the first NASA people going up to Mir, they had a terrible time just because NASA hadn't thought about psychological support for them. We learned from that. And so one day, you can imagine a bunch of little NASA employees decided, we're gonna go buy a guitar. And they had like 2 psychiatrists and a couple psychologists and some behavioral health people and some admin people, and they descended on the guitar shop in Webster, Texas. And they walked in and their spokesman went to the salesman and said, "Hi, we're NASA, we'd like to buy a guitar, and we need a fairly small body guitar because we're gonna send it up to the space station." And the sales clerk went into the back of the store and walked out carrying a Canadian-made Larry Vay guitar and handed it to them. And yeah, it's cool. This was in 2000, and so they said, we need 2. One to send up to the space station, one to keep in bond on Earth so that we can have a comparator. And in August of 2001, that guitar was put on board a space shuttle and launched up and put on board the space station. It's been there ever since. So it's gone around the world 90,000 times, I guess, that guitar. Doing the math, 90,000, maybe more, maybe 100,000 times.
What's the warranty on it?
It's like Keith Richards, that guitar. And so when I got there, I knew there was going to be a guitar on board, and a Canadian guitar. And so we worked with a Canadian charity called the Coalition for Music Education, who does a great program called Music Monday. And they get a Canadian to write a song, and then all the kids across the country on the same first Monday in May, with all of their choirs and bands, they can all sing that song at the same time together and link up using technology. So you can like this enormous 1,000-person choir all singing the same song. And since I was a musician going up and there was a guitar up there, they thought, why don't I write a song? And so I talked to Ed Robertson of the Bare Naked Ladies, who I've known for a long time, and I wrote this song, and then he changed the melody and changed a verse, and then I wrote another verse, and then he came up with a cool bridge, and then we had this song called Is Somebody Singing? And we recorded it together, sent it to schools all across Canada, and on the first Monday in May of 2013, when I was on the space station, with me leading the band from the spaceship, I sang that song live with 700,000 Canadian kids simultaneously. 700,000 young people all at the same time singing the same song. And Ed and I tried to write a song that had good ideas in it, not just a pop song, but a song of ideas and respect and self-betterment and a little bit of perspective. And the impact of that will probably echo as long as anything I've